natural expansion will be cancelled tomorrow again, personal reasons. I've got to go away for a couple of days, so we won't be here tomorrow or on Wednesday, but we'll be back on Thursday, and from Thursday onwards we should be kind of trying to go live every single day once again. So let's see what happens. As to the top left hand side of the map, our red Terran player is going to be INnoVation. Down to the bottom right hand side, the blue Protoss player from Splice Gaming, his stats. Now, what really interests me, I just want to bring up this topic and just discuss it a little bit, is seeing all these Korean players starting to get picked up by teams. I mean, and what I want to say is kind of the Korean players who aren't being picked up by teams. Players such as Zest, INnoVation, Dark, all teamless still. Yeah, players like Gummyho get picked up by Sidestorm Gaming, Impact gets picked up by Dead Pixels. So what I'm wondering is, when do the very top Koreans say, alright, this is when I lower my offer. This is when I lower my, lower the amount of money I want. Because that's the issue, right? Quite clearly, I think at this point, with a lot of the Koreans not getting teams, is they're probably asking for just a little bit too much than what a lot of teams can afford, which is fine, if they can afford to not be on a team and wait until someone picks them up for that price. That makes sense. But I wonder if it gets to a point where, these top players who are very popular but don't have a team, I wonder if it gets to a point where they say, you know what? Okay. Let's, okay. Let's just not ask for quite as much and see if I can get on a team, because some support would be better than no support. I wonder when that starts to happen, or if it's going to happen at all. I mean, again, INnoVation might be very happy without a team. Might just say, well, you know what? I don't need a team. I don't need the, to wait, to mess around playing in clan wars and stuff like this, and other things they ask me to do. I can get myself to events and so on, and all of these other bits and pieces too, right? So, like, I don't know, like, say it's an interesting one. It's interesting. I mean, at the same time, you see like Gummyho joins Sidestorm. Yeah, I mean, Gummyho probably gets a little bit of support towards events. He probably gets a bit of salary. Has to play in some clan wars, but for Gummyho that might be very worthwhile. So. It's interesting. And obviously, Impact joining Dead Pixels, I imagine, on a similar sort of thing as well. Anyways, we've been following this probe around the map. It is going to be shut down by this Reaper, and honestly, this pylon was just a fake, because no way is it going to actually be any sort of pylon rush here. What's he doing? What's he doing with this Reaper, man? He's like running ahead of the probe and just taunting it a little bit. But yeah, this is a Nexus first by stats, so the kind of whole pylon thing is a big charade. No way is he going to have a mothership core in time to get across the map and realistically do damage or anything else. So we're going to be seeing this Reaper pull on down towards the bottom left hand side. There's just patrolling at the front as well, and Twilight Council for stats on the way up as well. Personal reasons equals pub tours, says Boptimus. No man, I'm quite honest when I go out to go drinking. Like this weekend, I went out to go drinking. That's why I didn't stream for Saturday or Sunday. Take some time out, went out drinking, had some fun. I have no problem telling you guys when I'm going out to have fun. So, personal reasons, unfortunately, is not for a pub tour, sadly. We do see this Reaper just popping up, and we do see the MSC able to push that Reaper back, push it away from the main base. So Reaper getting pushed back here. We see more Marines gathering up together, Widowmine just behind the wall. I'm going to be seeing another barracks coming on down right now. So INnoVation for 1-1-1 setup. We'll look to apply some pressure. I wonder if he Marine drops or if he Widowmine drops. And if he's scouted nothing really at all, then a Marine drop would be much safer, with the Widowmines at home to defend against Stargate play. I feel as though, I guess he's got an okay sort of setup anyways. Okay. Alright then. Just going to be seeing these couple of Widowmines moving down towards the bottom right hand side. And looking to see look what is going on. No one asked INnoVation to join a team, same for Sue. They said it on stream. Yeah, but I wonder if that's just because they're apparently asking for too much in the first place though. It's about the salary, not about the salary, it's about the money they win. No point in sharing the prize money with an organization. But not all teams ask for a portion of the prize money. So most teams would have, I mean, that depends on contract to contract. That's what I mean. You can discuss that with teams, obviously. Like, obviously, there's gets to a point where sometimes it isn't worthwhile. But obviously, not all teams kind of ask for the same amount. A couple of Widowmines killed a couple of probes. So some teams will ask for kind of prize money if they pay for you to get to an event. They'll say, okay, if we pay for you to go to this event, we take this amount of prize money that you win if you win it. Or this percentage or this amount if you win above a certain amount. Which makes sense, obviously, because it helps support the team who have supported you to get to the event. So yeah, I mean, obviously that's the thing. If they don't need a team, then sure. And I guess that's why they might need a bit more of a salary. But at the same time, if a team offers them a lower salary and says, well, we won't take any of your prize money, then it might be very well worthwhile. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot to discuss, and I just thought it was an interesting kind of thing to talk about for a couple of minutes while the game got set up and got going here on Honor Grounds. Because I was just thinking about it myself the other night as well, just sort of thinking like, I wonder if, you know, especially with Gumiho and Impact being picked up in the last couple of days, I wonder if that is something we start to see now. So anyways, you're going to see some Marines continue to gather together. Combat shields is starting to build here from INnoVation. Stim-Pack is halfway done. I mean, it's just a very standard bio setup. We see the third Nexus coming down from the stats, and with this third Nexus, he drops the Forge and the Robo Base, so he can start going in towards the real mid-game sort of setup for himself. Again, usually recently we've been seeing kind of maybe the Robo Bay and the Colossus play before the third Nexus. This time around, it'll be a bit of a faster third. I mean, it's a bit of a larger map, and especially on cross spawns here on Honor Grounds. Definitely something I can see Stats getting away with. He picks off 2 Marines already with these Stalks, now blinking away after the tank gets forced to siege. And INnoVation probably going for a little bit of an attack. With all of these upgrades about to finish up on the bio units, he's going to start pushing through the middle of the map. And as he pushes through the center, he's going to start working his way through a couple of Stalkers here and there and looking to see what else he can get up to. So these units just still moving around, and we do see the +1 attack upgrade from Stats is on the way. So +1 attack is on the way up, and we're just going to be seeing another Colossus starting to build up here, as well as Marines and Marauders continue to push down through the center, as we see this Observer coming through the center also. So attack coming across, can Stats hold on is going to be our question. I mean, again, he was maybe a little bit greedy going third Nexus, then into Colossus and a Forge right away. Obviously it's not double Forge, which is something we've been seeing a lot of lately. Let's see what INnoVation does. Does he lift up and go towards the main, perhaps? I guess he has too much bio. Actually, with some more of it coming in from the back, definitely not going to be the case. He has 2 more medevacs back at home. He'll just start sieging these tanks, and he'll have one of them in range of this mineral line, so that's already going to be kind of forcing Stats to take the fight here. His Widowmine's going to go off as well. Nice split away on the one Zal that was targeted. You can see Zal's taking a little bit more damage as well, and there's the first Colossus. Is there going to be a way to fight this? We'll find out here shortly, as we're going to be seeing the few Marines to the right-hand side picking off a couple of probes, and probes taking some damage, starting to get behind the mineral line. Has to be careful with that, because obviously if you're behind the mineral line, it turns into a very bad fight for you very quickly if you're not cautious because of the way your position is. We're going to see one Immortal leading the charge, starting to target fire down the siege tanks, I guess, but it didn't really work out for him. As the Colossus goes down, the Stalker's blinking forwards. Actually, the Colossus is still alive, does get taken down though. This Immortal doesn't quite go down, but it's the drop in the main/natural, which is doing quite a lot as well at the same time. INnoVation forcing overcharges over here. Actually going to lift up his Widow Mines, drop those towards the main base mineral line. Altogether, he is held off here though, so overall it's not so bad as probes begin to split on up, and about 6 more going down right there as Medevac's getting taken down as well. Not even kept alive here by INnoVation. So all said and done, INnoVation comes out of this. I mean, trying to think how he really came out of this ahead. I think INnoVation did 9 workers killed plus a fairly even trade on the armies. I'd say INnoVation maybe on the slight advantage after that. And he starts to continue building on up. His +1 armor about to kick in as more reinforcements get ready to come across the map. This time with Liberators as well. But I wonder if he's, you know, because he's lost so many medevacs, I wonder if he can't actually really push this forwards any further, and instead needs to go in towards just more medevacs before he pushes. May very well be the case. So that was kind of interesting. There's one Immortal. If you picked that off, that would have been really nice, because that's a very expensive unit that can do a lot when added into this composition. So that's something for INnoVation here that he'll want to try to keep alive, as you see. A Slamulator building up on the third base, a couple of sentries warping in as well here from Stats. INnoVation starting to push once again, a couple of Liberators in tow, 4 of them in total obviously, and again I feel as though he's really kind of waiting for these medevacs to maybe join up with him. Let's see what he wants to do. He might be forced into a fight here because he's sort of taking some damage as he sort of backs away through the center. Let's see, the Stalker's nicely played to pick off one more Widowmine before blinking away out of the Liberation zones, and actually with that, the Widowmines load up into the lone medevac and they go to the left-hand side, and they're going to be starting to look for a position in which they can get a bit more damage done here today. This Widowmine drop moving around, and well, Stats still with an army towards the center of the map as well. A good chunk of units set up over here as we see an extra command center coming down from INnoVation up to the north. So setting up into an extra command center right now is, well, here we go. I mean, 4 medevacs will start to move on forwards. They look to see what they can do as well right now as 2-2 upgrades on the way from both players. The +1 ship weapons from INnoVation as well. So the stat here of these Liberators, you get the Observer, not quite, just gets out of scan range actually, so was able to stay alive as again the Widowmine drop looking to maybe distract or hit while distracted. He actually loads up the 4 Medivacs and goes to the left. The Liberator is left alone in the center. Here you go, 2 Widowmines to burrow, 3 Widowmines. Actually, all 4 will burrow in the main. I thought he might send some of them towards the natural instead, as let's see a couple more workers killed. 7 workers killed in total, and there's this big drop over to this side. And again, Stats is maybe a little bit out of position with this main army. I feel as though he's going to have enough here in a moment or two to shut this down, and there's a big blink forwards onto the Medivacs with the Stalkers. That's really nice, obviously picking off a few of those, as Adepts will at the same time come up to the top and try and hit and try and deny this command center from building on the 4th base as well. So INnoVation, for the most part, still looking pretty good though. I mean, setting up into 4th base is brilliant for him at this stage of the game. Stats is not really in a position where he's thinking about that at all, as we'll see both those Adepts getting cleaned on out. And actually, Widowmine is still around in the main mineral line, picking up even more probes. So Stats being kept on a fairly low worker count because of this, losing an Adept as he warps in as well. Just missing an Observer here to really start cleaning this out. But INnoVation, again, using that distraction, using that position to kind of take the opportunity to start moving across the map once again. Some Vikings added into the fray now as well, allows him to engage into the claw side a little bit more easily, and still the Liberators there to kind of hold down a position as they'll start to siege on up just a couple of them. Now the rest as well, as he sees how close this Protoss player is, does not want to let Stats push into him with no repercussions. 2-2 upgrades from both sides are going to be finishing in the next moment or so, and that's going to be important as well. Looks as though they're going to be pretty even on the timing, so either player going to take a fight without the 2-2 upgrades, which is nice. It means that there isn't going to be an upgrade disadvantage for any reason here. As you see at the same time, Warp Prism in towards the natural. We haven't really seen much Warp Prism play from Stats yet this game. We saw those couple of Adepts on the right hand side, but that was about it. This will be the first time Stats, I think, in the game is really doing much damage at all. Kind of outside of obviously trading units on his own side, so there's a little bit of harassment. 7 workers go down just like that. Warp Prism takes some hits on the way out. INnoVation can get back to mine, and obviously he now knows about the threat of the Warp Prism, so he should be able to respond to it a little bit more easily, really think about what he's doing against it. As well, Stats, he's making a bit of a tech switch here for himself, by the way. Disruptors on the way up. And obviously Disruptors are something which work out quite nicely as a follow-up to Colossi. Once you got enough Colossi up, you get to that sort of what we call the critical mass, where they're at the most effective, kind of, most efficient, and how do you say it, like most effectiveness per unit. If you add on another Colossus, you don't really need that extra splash damage. It doesn't do as much. It's sort of like Vikings as well. You get to this point where adding on a couple more Vikings doesn't really work out, because then you're sort of just overkilling the Colossi so much. So 3 Colossi is kind of the magic number usually, as we're going to see a nice blink to try and stop these Liberators getting towards the main. INnoVation has to make some decisions. He's setting up his Liberators here. Here we go. I mean, this is really a little bit all over the place as INnoVation drops into Cannon Stalkers and Overchargers. I mean, it's kind of weird because he's losing his Liberators in the back, a couple of them just about out of range. He loses every single Medivac though, and you got to question, is this the right sort of decision? Is this the right sort of attack? Again, there's Disruptors in play now. Nice follow-up because it'll add just an extra wave of splash damage. It helps to push the Bioforces back the way they work as units. It's pretty neat. I don't like this for INnoVation actually. There's Disruptors here to help clean up this army. Reinforcements will help a lot as well, and it's just this attack coming across the map from Stats. I don't think INnoVation's going to find a way to fight against that. Disruptors don't actually do as much as I thought they would here initially, as well, Stats is pushing forwards. The Liberators will sort of set up a position. Stalkers will blink on through to try and fight these. Marines and Marauders will stim on in. SCV's being pulled into the left-hand side as well to try and help fight this. 19 workers already going down. Targets down 1 Colossus. Going to get a second here, but actually can't quite make his way through those 2 force fields, creating too much of a choke point. There's 2 more Liberators siege on up. The base trade continues. Still Marauders over here. Vikings landing as well, doing a lot of damage, actually picking off all of these Stalkers warping in. Pylons as well going down, and momentarily we're going to be seeing Stats really with no real production any longer. So is he just going to lose out on this base trade? It looks as though he will. Pushes up the ramp and starts to lose too many units. GG. In the map, our red Protoss player from Splice Gaming, it is Stats. And down to the bottom right, it is going to be the blue Terran player. It is INnoVation. Slowest intro scroll ever. As we set up into this game number 2. Again, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Do appreciate all of you tuning in for the WardiTV Weekly. If you do like this event, drop a follow. Obviously, we're going to keep on trying to run this. Run our own events. Later this week, we'll be having some Team League action. We'll bring you guys Go for SC2 on Sunday. I actually haven't really looked at my own schedule for a couple of days. I really don't know what we're going to be casting this week. We will have OSC Root versus Expert for you guys coming up in the Team League in the next few days. That's a match that's definitely going to be available. Well, I haven't even been on my schedule for like an entire week. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I think it's mostly just Team League this week that we're going to be casting. Go for SC2 as well. Yeah, mostly just Team League here and there though, so... Yeah, Team League, and obviously just keep on bringing you guys as much action as possible. Alright, cool. With that said then, let's see what happens as we go into this TvP. God damn it, my window's banging. I hate it, man. Can't you just stay open? I need you open, buddy. I need you open to let some fresh air in so I can breathe and not get too warm. I think we need a window emote. The amount of times every single stream we have window moments nowadays. We need a window emote. That's something else I'm going to work on, getting new emotes made. That's in the very near future, so... Obviously you need some more subs for that, but we'll get there. If we get the emotes made, then we can use them to coerce people into subscribing. Like, hey guys, look at all this nonsense you can spam if we hit 250. Anyways, let's see what happens as we pop on in. We're going to see the Reaper. Just going to pop a grenade down this Adept. Helps to chase it away, and INnoVation just going to be moving around. We're going to see the Adept getting a shot off. Nothing too crazy. He has the Robo drops down though, and for the most part we're seeing very standard TvP build orders to set us on up into game number 2. Setting on up into game 2, and we're just going to see the Reaper popping back up in towards the main. There's Adept from Stats is starting to shade on after that Reaper right now, and we're going to be seeing the Adept continue to chase, and the Reaper will get shut down. So Reaper getting shot down right now, and the 2 Adepts from Stats going to move down to the low ground. So Stats bringing these down here, and well, we're going to see this orbital command on from INnoVation continue to build up right now. So orbital command about to finish up on the natural. You can see another SCV starting to build, and a Widow Mine on the way out from INnoVation as well. So continue to set up into this. We're going to be seeing what else might happen. As a couple of Marines going to be popping out in the next couple of moments, and again just continue to reinforce units at the front here over the next few minutes. Observer coming out of this Robo facility, and we're going to be seeing our Blink upgrade is coming in here from Stats. So setting up into that Blink, just getting set up and ready to go. And again, I mean, super standard stuff as INnoVation moves what is a very commonly seen Widow Mine drop across the map. Try and hit some of these mineral lines, try and pick up some work kills in these early stages. For the Siege Tank follow-up as well, I mean, INnoVation really just looking to do pretty much the exact same build as last time. You know, no real surprises at all. You see both Widow Mines just going to unburrow after one probe killed, then actually unload them once again, and he's going to kill an Adept. Interesting. Actually just misses out on that second Widow Mine being saved, actually, so that would have been quite nice. There's a second tank coming out, and yeah, again, INnoVation's build just looking very similar to what we saw in game number 1. As this tank finishes on this factory, we can see this barracks will be able to lift and relocate into position here on this tech lab. Obviously that means he can start up combat shields as well, so set up into all of this as we just see these Marines from INnoVation just collecting out the front. You can see one Marine from INnoVation going all the way over to the right hand side here, so gonna move that on over to the right as we see the Blink is coming up here, 75% of the way done, and yeah, RoboBay just finishing up as well. I mean, we've seen this again and again so far today, and just trying to go in towards the RoboBay safely. Nice overcharge to pick off the Widow Mine. No further damage to be taken right there. Observer from Stats is still moving around as well, just looking to see what's going on. What possibilities are there right now as we see the third Nexus drops as well. Pylon coming up. 4-gen RoboBay, as we mentioned before, obviously will again create this mid-game we're used to seeing now. Again, I do wonder, is it just a bit too greedy with this faster third Nexus? It's a bit slower than it was on Honor Grounds. Difficult to say. Difficult to say, actually, as we're going to be seeing this Medevac coming down towards the bottom right. We're going to see a supply depot drops down here as well. How exciting, a supply depot. Imagine that, INnoVation, actually doing macro mechanics. OMG. Yeah, I mean, really, again, there's not really a lot going on here on Abyssal Reef right now to talk about. It's very calm, very standard and straight up. Nothing really too surprising just yet, as we're going to be seeing this tank on siege. And well, just pulling down the low ground here, INnoVation, looking to see what else is going to be going on. A couple of medevacs will pop out, and INnoVation will start heading up towards the upper left-hand side of the map to see what he can get up to next. So next little push coming on in, moving on towards the top left-hand side, and just looking to see if he can do much else, as obviously with the Stimpack combat shields and the +1 all finishing in quick succession, there's a pretty nice timing for him to hit. And well, actually, I mean, let's look at this map in terms of being able to fight in. First of all, tanks over here can't hit this mineral line, which will almost just force stats into some sort of a fight, as he's actually going to push down the ramp. Zelds go down very quickly though, and well, Widowmines do sit in front of this siege tank as well. More tank shots firing away, and these Immortals you have to pull back up this ramp here, as this one siege tank from INnoVation continue to push on forwards. Will siege on the low ground again, and just going to be in range of that pylon again. If you put siege tank here though, it hits the mineral line, and that's going to force a massive reaction out of stats, because you can't just start having your natural expansion not mining anymore. So you can see these units working their way through the rocks. Obviously, Stats wants to open up his access down the ramp here in towards his opponent's armies. At the same time, INnoVation sends the drops to the left-hand side. He's going to get ready to stim in with this in the next couple of moments. It looks like a very simple 1-2 punch. Here we go. Let's see if he can do much with it. Well, Stats actually has a very simple 1-2 defense set up himself from Adept, Zealots, and then a Colossus here in the third base. As obviously he can now use those to move them in towards the main. The next couple of moments, overcharge here, and INnoVation has to take a moment to think about which way he wants to go with this army, or with these two medevacs, to start getting out of this. You can see the two tanks are going to stay siege here, and well, the Mortals push on forwards quite far forwards to try and get the kills, but the tanks remain alive, which means that INnoVation is probably going to be able to push up this ramp here, and Stats taking so much damage. I mean, he's just not getting anything done, Stats, you know, he's not breaking through this point at all, and these tanks sit around, and now the Liberators come in, and this is the problem, because this mid-game push from INnoVation has been so powerful already that now we'll continue to push on forwards and look to see what else he's doing. We're going to see the Marines and Roars to the left picking off the pylon, another pylon starting to go down as well now, and I mean, it's again just pressure. It's forcing us to stay in this direction while the natural expansion is under fire, while he holds this position in the middle of the map. So continue to hold this location right here, as we're just going to be seeing the Marines, Marauders still looking to keep on pushing forwards, and well, Stalkers will blink on in as well to try and help out. As I think the Marauders on the low ground though will be more than enough. The Stalkers will disappear, and the Colossus now will be targeted down. There goes one, here goes the second. I mean, this splash damage off of one Colossus is not really going to make a difference, as Liberator pushes a bit further forwards, and that right there will just be GG's, because INnoVation has too much. 2-0, INnoVation takes